Hi everyone, I want to talk about a common problem known worldwide called sickle cell disease. Right now, I'll be talking about sickle cell disease part 1, which will be about the pathogenesis and inheritance of sickle cell disease. Okay, let's go. To start with, epidemiologically, sickle cell disease is highest in Africa, as is the continent of Africa, and of course among African Americans in the US. It's also found in Indians, particularly in the central part of the country called Central India. Middle East is not left out because it's found there, and also in Caribbean islands. However, immigration has not kept the Western world, that is, European countries and even North America, out of the problem, because with immigration, many cases have been brought to the Western world. So we can just conclusively say that sickle cell disease is found worldwide. Well, the origin of the entire problem is as a result of mutation to resist malaria. Have you ever heard that before? Okay, you got it now. It's all about attempt to resist malaria. Before, there was no cure. Now, there are many ways to cure sickle cell disease, prominent among which is hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. Gene therapy is helping, and there's a great deal of help with hydroxyurea. Hydroxyurea will stimulate the production of hemoglobin F, and with that, there will be relief of the symptoms of sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease is not only about homozygous SS. It could be homozygous SS or SC. It could be SG, SE, and even thalassemia, which are either sickle beta thalassemia B+, that is, if there is presence of hemoglobin A, or hemoglobin SBO, that is thalassemia without any hemoglobin A. There's what we call fetal hemoglobin, and from the name, that is found in fetus. That is the predominant hemoglobin in newborns or neonates. HbF, that is fetal hemoglobin, will be decreasing as the child grows. And that will be the case up to the first year birthday. There are variants of globins, and they could be hemoglobin C, hemoglobin E, hemoglobin S, which we're all familiar with, hemoglobin A as a good one, hemoglobin D or O. So we can have heterozygous situations with situations that present like sickle cell disease, but it could be SC, SD, SO, or SE. AS are called carriers or trace. I'll talk more about that in a bit. Now, how did we get here? Like I've said just a while ago, that it's as a result of finding solution to the problem of malaria in the malaria endemic region of the world. And because of that, mutation occurred. Okay, let's go into that. The problem here is that there is a nucleotide substitution of A to T at position C of the amino acid. And that mutation has converted glutamic acid to valine at position C. The new friend, that is valine. Instead of glutamic acid, we now have valine, right? That will make the hemoglobin to be less soluble under hypoxic situations. And with that, they will easily polymerize. In other words, they form crystals. That will lead to sickle shapes of the red blood cells. And with that, there will be possibility of easy fragmentation. When there is the sickle cell shape and easy fragmentation, the ability to carry oxygen will become impaired. That is the path to formation of the mutant genes and the origin of the phenotypic expressions of the sickle cell disease, or known as sickle cell anemia. Before I'll start talking about inheritance, the other time, just about 1 minute ago, I talked about possibility of fragmentation. But the time I'll be talking about clinical features, we understand it more, and particularly in laboratory investigations, peripheral blood smear will show the features of fragmentation of red blood cell and the sickle shapes. Now, let's go into the inheritance. Kudos to Gregor Mendel of blessed memory. We are going to apply Mendelian inheritance pattern here because that is just the case. This is purely a genetic disorder, no other root to it. It is an autosomal recessive inheritance disease. Before the disease could become phenotypically expressed, the two parents must at least each have one allele for the disease. So if you are talking about SS, the parents are both sharing the blame. One must carry the S and the other also carrying it before any of their offspring could become fully homozygous sickle cell disease patient. Okay, let's go into so many different scenarios and the possible outcomes. 1. If AS should marry AS, there's likelihood of having SS. AS marrying SS, we'll go into details later. It's possible. AS marrying SC is possible. SS marrying SB, SS marrying SS, needless to say that all the case will be SS marrying SC or SC marrying SB. Under all these possible scenarios, which I'll go into one by one, the family will be at risk of having a child with homozygous SS because it is autosomal recessive until we have homozygous situation before the phenotypic expression. If it is only one allele that is inherited, the individual will be called a carrier or having a trait. Okay. In autosomal recessive inheritance, both parents will be heterozygous and they will be traits or carriers of the abnormal genes. Then, if they marry, that is, father is AS and the mother is AS, each pregnancy will likely come out with offspring that has the following probability. Let me reemphasize. This is a game of probability. It's not a fixed situation. Okay? So, if AS father and mother AS should marry, in each pregnancy carried by the mother, the likelihood of that baby becoming SS is 25%. That is 1/4 of the baby that will be given birth to be sickle cell disease. 25% will come out normal, AA. That is probability. Okay, that's 1/4. And the probability of having carriers, that is sickle cell trace, would be 50%. That is, if father is AS and mother is AS. However, it's not a fixed situation like I've said earlier. It's just a probability according to Mendelian inheritance. But I have personally seen a family where the father is AS, the mother is AS. Actually, they are highly educated, pharmacists, both. There are 3 kids, and all the 3 fell into the first 25% SS, 1/4. But the story will be different if any of the parents is not a carrier, but one is AA and the other one is a sickler. In fact, all offspring here will be carriers. They're going to have 100% AS. So, I would personally suggest that SS people should look for AA people to marry. And if that is workable for them, congratulations. They don't have any reason to entertain any fear. All their offspring will come out as carriers. None will be a sickler. If a child of SS parents comes out to be SS, it is certain that the other parent could either be AS, SB, SD, SE, SB plus, SBO, SC, or SS. Mark my words, the other parent can never be AA. Let me repeat myself. If a man is a sickler, diagnosed to have homozygote SS, and is known to be having sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia, and he decides to marry a young woman, assuming that the young woman is AA, or maybe one fake laboratory report gives the report to be AA, and later on in life, they have kid or kids that are SS, mark it. They should ask the woman very well. Something has gone wrong. AA and SS cannot produce SS. So it's either somebody somewhere, or if the SS woman marries a man who had deceived her that he is AA, and they start raising kids, and one is SS, then the woman should take the man to a proper laboratory center to make a proper diagnosis of the genotype. Because the woman that is honest with her status as SS, dealing with a man that is dishonest, who had lied to be AA, and now they're battling with a child that is homozygous and is SS, then something has gone wrong. It's either the lab got it wrong or the man lied from the beginning, because it is impossible for A to marry SS and have SS kids. No. So it's either the man is either AS, SC, SB, or S whatever. S is part of his genotype. If a child is SC or SB, it means that one parent has hemoglobin S. Whether the parent is SS, AS, SC, SB, and of course, the other parent has the other allele, either C or B. In other words, the S is from a parent and the C or B is from the other partner. If one of the parents is having homozygous SS and the other heterozygous AS, then the probability in each pregnancy to come out in various forms will be this. So, mother or father AS marrying mother or father SS, they are going to have the probability of 50% of the outcome of each pregnancy to end as a sickler. And the other probability is also 50% to end as carriers. If both parents are homozygous, i.e. SS and SS, the probability in each pregnancy is 100% SS, so we don't need to debate that. They must have made up their mind before going into it if they have known ahead of time. Note this, there is no fixed rule, like I've just alluded to a while ago. It is all about possibilities or probabilities. So AS, marrying AS, may have all their kids as AA, or all as AS, or all as SS. So it's not fixed nowhere. It is predictable inside a situation anyway that the union of a woman or a man that is SS and that of a man or woman that is AA will have all their kids as AS. It is no longer a news that two SS will have all their children to be sicklers. Carriers like AS and normal AA, they are both asymptomatic, and of course, they don't have anything to fear because they are not going to produce SS, never. So if there's SS in the family, then they should find out more. So screen before you enter into that marriage if you want to be free. The AS people may occasionally exhibit signs and symptoms of sickle cell disease if they are subjected to unpleasant psychosocial and environmental stressors. In other words, they are expected to be asymptomatic, that is, AS people, that is, carriers or people with the traits, but when circumstances in life is unpleasant and they are under pressure or physically under pressure or stress or the nature of their job, they will come down with signs and symptoms similar to those that will be experienced by sickle cell disease patients. For example, they could come down with hematuria, acute kidney injury, thromboembolic problems like pulmonary embolism, stroke, myocardial infarction, mesenteric ischemia, and so on. Susceptibility to pneumococcal infections is also possible because of probability of splenic infarction. They could also go into coma, and they may also have sudden death. AS people should be advised to hydrate themselves well. They should rest more and avoid extreme exertion. They are not expected, just like sickle cell disease patients, they are not expected to be climbing Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro. Why? The higher the altitude, the lower will be the oxygen. And the opposite state will be the trigger of the crisis. However, it is a good news for AS people in some parts of the world, the tropical parts of the world with malaria. Why? They can withstand malaria. The heterozygous state of AS confers the ability, a special one for that matter, to survive Plasmodium falciparum attack. Plasmodium falciparum is the most deadly cause of malaria deaths. AS people could withstand that to a very large degree. That's a good news, right? Of course, for AS people, the carriers, they could withstand that in some parts of the world with malaria endemicity. Finally, for the moment, we are not discussing other traits because they don't cause trouble. So I'm not talking about AC or too much of AS. The problem that starts when two abnormal genes are present, e.g. SC, SS, SSRI, are what I'll be discussing from this time forth. So part 2, part 3, part 4 will all be centered on SS, SC, S, D, O, and the likes in that group that will come down with signs and symptoms of sickle cell disease. So for now, I'm going to end this, and the next one will be part 2, and that will involve the symptoms of sickle cell disease in details, and of course the possible complications that we may run into. Thanks for listening to my presentation. Kindly subscribe so that you can get my presentations immediately they are published. Thank you, I appreciate that.